Browder is with us from New York City.
Hey.
Setup that includes a microphone on top of a cardboard box.
This is not a bon voy.
Josh Appel joins us from his home in Fort Lauderdale, I guess.
Close enough.
I see a office pillow behind him and a
Dwight
Josh
Schrute.
Appel Panthers jersey. And Solana is in Kendall. Jimmy is in the studios in El Portal. Before we talk football here with Josh, I always remind you the best place to get geared up with Canes or Dolphins merch is Caneswear in Davie or online at caneswear.com. Josh Appel, play-by-play broadcaster for the NFL on Sports USA. He was on the call Sunday in Arizona. And I remind you, he's a proud USF grad. So I'm sure he just wants to move on to Dolphins talk. And
we could talk about the game because I got a bone to pick with Solana. Okay, he's huffing and puffing.
Solana's tired of all people USF.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I have a bone to pick about because he's acting like all of us have thundered in and just been saying all this. What are we supposed to not be happy that we beat 2 ranked teams to begin the season? And then when I was on the show leading up to the game, I had the rational take of, yeah, it's probably not going to happen, and if I had to guess, I'd probably take Miami to cover. And Solana ripped me for saying that. You can't win with this guy. It's enough. Congrats on the Shula Bowl, by the way.
Tito Banach, Josh Appel, every USF alum. I'm done. I'm done with the USF stuff. I'm done with the Bulls.
Austin.
You're not from South Florida. Your university is literally not in South Florida, even though you're called South Florida. There's no Bulls in South Florida either. I think we established that after our deep, profound research into the entire
No, I think
background.
we found that they were like cattle runs or something. I don't know.
The Oregon Trail.
I think
get a burger. You can get a burger at a drive-thru. It's essentially a bowl.
I think I think that was just USF creating those articles just so like there makes some sense surrounding their name. I'm just done with USF. Hey, you know what? Maybe be undefeated around like late October, and then we'll take you seriously. But enough. Third week of the season, USF's the best team in the nation. Watch out.
I cannot listen to an argument between the USF guy and the guy who's celebrating winning a credenza during the Shula Bowl over the weekend. I mean, there's no winners in this argument. I mean, just both of you.
Great 41-0 loss at Penn State, by the way. Really good stuff by FIU. Great shutout loss you guys had.
Covered.
0 points.
You can put that gambling ticket with the points right in that armoire you won during the Shula Bowl. All right, I gotta move on.
Did USF cover? I don't think USF covered, Hawk. I don't think they did.
Take it. Is the clock ticking on Mike McDaniel, Josh? And when I say the clock ticking, I mean has the train left the station and there is no turning back?
Well, I feel like we're moving through the phases that lead up to a coach getting fired, right? We had, all right, this offseason, big culture change. We got rid of the problems. The guys are staying late after practice. We've figured everything out. We've got rid of the problem people. And then week 1, they're making all the same mistakes they made the first 3 years under Mike McDaniel. They get blown out by Daniel Jones, who apparently is now the second coming of Peyton Manning for the Indianapolis Colts with Shane Steichen over there. And then after that, the Dolphins hold a players-only meeting where Albert Breer, I think earlier today, said it was basically like, hey, the NFL doesn't care who the coaches are. The NFL care what you put on tape. So you guys got to be accountable to each other. And then after week 2, when they lose to the Patriots, first time Tua Tagovailoa has been 0-2 in his career with the Dolphins. First time he's lost to the Patriots in general. Mike McDaniel, fake taking the blame and blaming assistants and the players for lack of communication. Tua Tagovailoa in the press conference, blaming his head coach and everybody else for the lack of communication and calling the end-of-game situation basically that they bungled it. So again, I feel like we're just going through the phases of what leads up to a head coach getting fired. And if the Dolphins get blown out on Thursday, which I would imagine we're all expecting to happen, I cannot imagine that Mike McDaniel was coaching against the Jets in week 4. Now, if they show some fight and make it a close game, and they miraculously pull out a win or they lose a close game, maybe Mike McDaniel buys himself some time. But this is trending, no doubt about it, towards him being the first fall guy here early in the season. And Stephen Ross isn't a guy who likes to do these midseason coaching changes. Hasn't done it since Joe Philbin.
And Josh, we watch football. You call games, like you really watch games. This 2-minute process, is it honestly as embarrassing as it looks or as it feels when you're watching it? Because who gets delay of games and false starts and 12-minute in the huddle? Like, have you seen this before? And to your point, it's 4 years in.
I cannot believe that Devon Achane scored. They had like a 1.5-minute, 2-minute review, and they were still confused on what they were going to do after that. Like, how does that happen? This has been majority, I'm pretty sure, aside from like an assistant here or there, the same staff going on 4 years now. You've got the quarterback who's been in the system for 4 years. You have players who are well, I guess Tyreek said he wasn't all that familiar with the system in the offseason, but that's a whole nother conversation to have. Like, I don't understand how it could look that incompetent. Normally in 2-minute drives, the type of incompetence you see is similar to what the Bucs did last night, where they're letting 20 seconds roll off the clock, ended up working out for them, but they had 2 timeouts left, and the clock's just running around 30 seconds, and they burn a bunch, and like, that's the kind of incompetence you see. But like, that was so, like, I think Solana said it yesterday. Like, that is like the perfect encapsulation of Miami Dolphins football under Mike McDaniel. You're like right there. Achane's out by like 6 inches. The long review. You get a procedure penalty there for having too many men in the huddle. Then a false start. And it goes from thinking you just took the lead with your favorite pass, the swing to Devon Achane, to a 2nd and 20. And then a little 6-yard dump. And then Tua tries to extend the play. And Larry Borum gets run around on the right side of the offensive
trying to
line.
extend the play.
That was earlier on the drive.
That's what that was.
Yeah, I texted this to you last night, and like, I almost feel free now. And it's probably rich coming from me because I've defended Tua Tagovailoa for so long. But when I had, he was making up for his deficiencies by his elite anticipation, his elite accuracy, and lack of turnovers. Well, we're not seeing that. He was definitely better against the Patriots on Sunday than he was in week 1. There's no doubt about it. He threw for 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns. But, I mean, the miss to Tyreek Hill over the middle late in the 4th quarter. I think I texted Hawk and Whitty. I said, yeah, but a great throw if Tyreek Hill was 11 feet tall. Like, he's not making up for his deficiencies with what he's actually good at. And so him being unable to get out of the pocket and extend plays, like, it's even more glaring. I said last time I was on the show that he just looks like a different quarterback. Remember the Ravens comeback? I don't know how you could forget it a few years ago. The game-winning touchdown, Tua was spinning out of the pocket, extending the play, and finding Jalen Waddle in the end zone. Again, a completely different player 2 or 3 years later. And I'm watching Baker Mayfield, and I'm watching Justin Herbert. I'm watching Geno Smith. All these quarterbacks around football, except for like Joe Flacco. And they're all able to extend plays. They're all able to make these reads where, like, all right, if I have to move, I got to move. With Tua, these are choppy steps. He's got like cinder blocks for cleats, and it's just hard to watch. And it's even more glaring now that his supposed strengths don't look like strengths anymore.
It's funny because people were lighting us up on our YouTube comments yesterday because Hawk, Crowder, and I were saying Tua has the ability to get out of the pocket. He just won't. And it's almost like he's been hardwired not to. And people are like, what are you talking about? He can't move. He can't do this and that. And it's like, bro, that 2022 game, week 2 in Baltimore, the touchdown earlier, not the game-winning one, Tua's getting out of the pocket, hits Waddle in the back of the end zone. Like, he has the ability, he just won't. But Appel, we were laughing about it earlier. The idea that Anthony Weaver is going to take over this football team, what have you seen from Anthony Weaver? And I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I think, there's massive holes in the secondary. But what have you seen that makes you believe, okay, you lose in Buffalo, McDaniel's the fall guy, Weaver's turning this season around? I don't buy that.
I don't think the season is turnaroundable regardless of who they make the eventual interim head coach if it gets to that. Like, I'm thinking, like, is Frank Smith going to be the guy? I know Darrell Bevell has been an interim head coach before, but Anthony Weaver is viewed around the league as an up-and-coming future head coach. He got didn't he get interviews this past offseason for other jobs as a candidate? So I wouldn't be surprised if he was the guy. I read something earlier today that he is one of the most respected guys on the staff amongst his fellow staff members, people in the building, and of course the players as well. It's hard for me to evaluate what's going on with that defense when the defensive back situation, particularly at corner, is what it is. But at the same time, like, you're not getting production out of the front seven, which we've beat this dead horse for a while. Like, that was supposed to be the strength of this defense. And, like, I haven't seen a lot from, like, Zach Sealer in the first couple of games. Bradley Chubb has a couple of sacks, but, like, outside of that, like, there haven't been a lot of standout performances. And then after week one, we're talking about, well, where's Willie Gay? Why isn't Willie Gay playing? What did he play? Like 2 or 3 plays on defense on Sunday and made 2 great plays and didn't see the field on defense the rest of the game. I don't know what's going on there, but I like listening to Anthony Weaver talk. I know that the bar is low considering, well, you got to win games in the NFL to win. You can't lose to win, whatever the quote was.
I'm hoping they bring in Romeo Crennel. That's always the sign of a good turnaround for me. Any team that brings in Romeo Crennel.
Hey, man, Willie Gay's been shadow banned. I don't
shadow
understand
banned. They shadow banned him. Arande's been shadow banned by Jim Harbaugh, and then the Dolphins have shadow banned Willie Gay.
This is something that when this is a phrase that's not said a lot, Josh. Something that Hawk and myself and Solana agree on. I think we have talent, but I don't know if we have the talent because, like, there's no plays being made. I call it math changers. Guys that you're one-on-one, you stop him from catching the ball. You change the math on that play. I don't know if we have many guys that affect plays that they are, I guess, not supposed to make and make. Because even the sacks they're talking about, even the run plays that the Patriots run is straight downhill, and our amazing game-changing front seven was letting Ramondre Stevenson go for 8 yards a carry sometimes. It was crazy.
Yeah, watching Tyrell Dodson be 7 yards behind Stevenson on a wheel route late in the game. Yeah, it's certainly disappointing because they were a lot better last year. And I think why we think this team has so much talent is because we've seen a lot of these guys make those game-changing types of plays before. And that's what's so confusing about how they look right now. We've seen it before. It's just not coming to fruition now. And to me, Crowder, you might know this better than I do. I don't know the ins and outs of everything, but, like, to me, that's those guys not being put in positions to make those plays, right? We talk about Tyreek Hill not having a 30-yard catch since week 1 of last year. Is that on Tyreek Hill? Obviously, he had the 47-yarder on Sunday, but is that on Tyreek Hill? Is that on Tua Tagovailoa? Or is that on the scheme that can't get him open and they can't produce those types of plays? Is this on defense, guys being out of position because who knows? I don't know if they're being put in the right spots to make the types of plays now that we've seen them make in the past. It just feels like this team right now, schematically, is out of answers.
We were talking yesterday. It was your friend Kyle Long. You know, you got beignets with him in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But he was talking about they've got talent, but they're not talented. And Crowder had said, you can go buy great ingredients, but if you don't have a great chef, if I'm the guy cooking the ingredients, you're going to end up with, you know, mushy whatever, because I don't know how to do anything but boil it in water.
Well, like, if you ended up with mushy peas, I think Hawk would like that.
I wish mushy peas would be a thing here in the States. Now, Josh Appel, because we're going to run out of time here. Josh Appel's going to join us Thursday for our Hockmanburger feast at Tucker Duke's in Deerfield Beach. Me, Crowder, Twan Russell, Arande Gadsden, I think Solana's coming, Jimmy's iffy on it. We're all going to meet at Tucker Duke's Thursday at 11:30 before the show and have Hockmanburgers. And Appel texted me yesterday, yeah, I'm coming, but I'm just going to get a plain cheeseburger. And I said, no. I mean, you can. Tucker Dukes will make you whatever you want, but I'm not paying for a plain cheeseburger. I'll buy your Hockmanburger. I'm not buying you a plain cheeseburger. So what are your plans for Thursday? The Hockmanburger has Frito. Which part do you object to? It's got Frito. It's a half-pound burger. It's got Fritos, chili, sour cream, shredded cheddar, and raw onion. What part are you objecting to?
It's the sour cream. The sour cream scares me. And I'm not a big beans guy. I don't like beans, but I'll deal with the chili. It's the sour cream.
Interesting.
What you like? You're scared of sour cream.
Yes.
You don't put it on anything because sour cream happens to be a delightful addition
It
to
is.
just about
Not a
anything.
thing.
A little zesty mix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I get the looks
on
I
a
get when I go to
potato?
a Mexican restaurant. The looks I get when I go to a Mexican restaurant and I get the fajitas and they bring that little side thing with like the lettuce and the pico and the sour cream or whatever. And when they come to get everything else and everything on that plate except for the sour cream is used,
is it because
the
it
look
has
is
sour in the title? Like, is it off-putting because it says sour?
yeah, and like just it's a texture thing, and I'm like imagining it like with all that together and messy, and I'm out. I'm out on.
But
sour
I
cream.
can,
I hope you
I
guys
can
enjoy it, and I'm glad you do, but I'm out.
You like guacamole though, because it's even thicker.
Same texture.
yeah. Yeah.
Depends.
Because I
Yogurt?
can
You eat
understand
yogurt?
Yes, I eat
not
yogurt.
seeing it get taken out of the thing, what does it come in, like the little can or whatever. But
Comes in a
Can.
credenza.
A can
with
of
an FAU
sour
and FIU
cream.
helmet on.
whatever
sour
in the
cream.
in
A
the thing that it comes in.
can.
But Appel, it's already in the burger. Like you won't even see the dollop. So it just gets squished in, it gets mixed in. It's gonna be delicious.
Yeah, but I'll know it's there. And that's really all that counts. Do I still qualify for the meal if I get it without sour cream?
I don't know if we should just completely uninvite him. I don't forget.
Never
about
mind.
paying for the
We're not
lunch.
going. We're not getting going anymore, Josh.
Hey,
Don't worry
change
about
of plan. We're going to Pollo Tropical and meet us around noon. All right. Well, I guess if you do everything but the sour cream,
Deal.
I'd like you to order sour cream on the side at least. I'd like to see it on your plate.
Sure. Done.
All right. Fair enough.
Handshake.
Then I'll pay. All right. We'll see you Thursday at Tucker Duke's.